Today I will be talking about the water cycle, or the way that our water is transported across the world. The Earth is really good at reusing all of its resources. There are different cycles for everything, from carbon to nitrogen. There are different rules about the way energy is conserved, and also water is recycled. Our first step is going to be evaporation. So when the water droplets are sitting on top of the lake, the sun comes down and warms them up, and they start moving around and bouncing off of each other, and eventually they're able to transform from their liquid state into a gas state and come into the atmosphere. Something similar happens on plants called transpiration. So if there are trees with water in them, keeping them alive, the sun will warm those water droplets up as well, and they can come out of the pores of the leaves on the trees. Once we have our water droplets in the sky, they reach a part of the atmosphere where the temperature is too cold for them to stay gaseous, and they start to condense into smaller water droplets that are suspended in the air in clouds. Once we have our clouds with the droplets inside, they'll never be heavy enough to fall out of the cloud by themselves. So they have to condense onto something else, like a piece of dust or smoke or something like that. Once they attach themselves to the something, then they'll be heavy enough to fall out and precipitate out of the cloud. Another way that they can precipitate out of the cloud is if they are so cold that they turn into ice droplets or snow and precipitate out as frozen droplets. The last step in our water cycle is runoff, which includes infiltration. Runoff is when the water droplets come and gather together in rivers and streams or onto lakes, and then they'll start being able to evaporate again from these bodies of water. Also, what happens when the runoff comes is that it is able to seep in between rocks and dirt and end up in the water table. That is where water is stored. That's also where people build wells to get water from. And this water stays there for the most part, but it can also be moved through different processes. And that's the end of our water cycle.